They push back on the government's claims that this case isn't about his private SEX life, saying let's be
shirts on.
Yo, what?
Why do they? Why?
Yo, Diddy.
Maybe
Diddy,
it's me, bro.
It's
my turn around. I got no
Diddy,
shirt.
you too old to be skinwalking Jack Doherty. This is like, yo, come on, yo, Bud.
Yeah.
Bud, aren't you a billionaire, bro? Come on, man.
real. It absolutely is. They argue that just because something sounds wild or messy doesn't make it criminal. They also admitted that Diddy is a drug user. They even joked about the famous baby oil revelation by
Okay.
But getting right into it.
Okay, here we go.
As y'all know, months back, when Mom Intro was really getting started, we really started moving into the lanes of covering like drama, you know what I'm saying, nuisance IRL streamers, and the whole like, you know what I'm saying, overall negativity going on in some spaces in the world and or on the internet. And one of them was our titular main character, P. Diddy.
This was like one of our first props. This was our first props when we started getting into them.
That is really tough.
Yeah, because you know, that was one of our first
That
props.
is very tough. As y'all know, P. Diddy Dizzler has done numerous terrible things, whether it be the 120, his whole happenings with, you know, Justin Bieber, also the things happening with Usher. You already know he's done the whole situation with Cassie, yo, the whole thing in the hotel that came out, you know what I'm saying, with the CCTV footage. It's been a whole wrap. And with all that coming out, finally, we're here to the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Said it was going to happen around my birthday. I said it.
The P. Diddy Dizzler trial. It's here. So, yeah, of course, we have to be covering that, boy. It's going to be a lot of stuff going. So, I don't even know how long this boy going to go on. It's definitely going to be a long one. But going on for this, y'all better hop in, buckle in, put your seatbelt on, and strap in for the ride. Because,
we was on ride 7.
Talk about slop. And y'all already know, Trill touch everything slop too. But talk about slop. But it's going to be a lot. Because there's going to be a lot. But you already know we have to get into the vid, you know what I'm saying, trying to summarize at least what's happening with the whole Diddy trial up to this point. So I ain't going to waste no more time, baby. Without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, back on the John. You be watching before on Chill Talks Everything, and checking them out now.
Here we go.
Shout out Blackie Speaks.
My headphones on.
We got Diddy trial explained, everything that's happened so far. Of course, if you guys want to watch the original video, down in the description, that first link. Sure to love what Blackie Speaks. And of course, Feds on the live. Heads on the tube too.
Let's go.
Let's get right into it. We got to see what's going on with this job, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot. It has been
ready?
a lot.
Okay, let's go through Diddy quick.
I didn't know about Diddy till people start saying no Diddy.
Now, P. Diddy, one of the most powerful men in the music industry, has been under intense public scrutiny since November 2023, when the first public allegation of lawsuit came out, accusing him of rape, abuse, and SEX trafficking. What started as one explosive allegation quickly spiraled into a storm of lawsuits and a full-blown criminal investigation. By late 2024, Diddy was arrested and indicted on serious...
Oh boy.
Is that real?
Oh boy.
No, he looks scary there.
Yo, we talk about
that?
Talk about
that's the fake one. Is that the fake one?
The fake one? No, this is a real flick, man. What you talking about?
Nah, who that is?
This is a real mugshot.
Who that is?
But I'm saying,
who that is?
rap, y'all listen to you. Who that is?
Who that is? Who that is?
Up on it, do my key. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, for real though. What type of milk? Let me chill, bro.
SEX trafficking charges. And now Diddy is finally on trial, about to face the consequences of everything that's come to light. The following video is a journalistic breakdown of an ongoing legal case. All information presented is based on public available testimony and verified news reports. This video does not aim to sensationalize or exploit any individual or event. It's been created strictly for educational,
lay disclaimer,
documentary, and reporting purposes under fair use. The question is, what's actually been happening in court, because there's a lot to talk about, and if you haven't been paying attention, there's some things we gotta go over. So in this video, I'm breaking it all down for you. Now, the Diddy trial officially began.
And that's the whole thing with this too. Just again, like, bruh, I was telling the boss about this. They're making like fake AI Diddy stories about like the trial and junk like that. They're saying that they're getting Prince to come back and give like his testimony on this job. I'm like, bro, what?
Oh my God,
bro.
They saying it doing anything, but these cartoonists or whatever you want to call them, ooh, these pictures be looking horrible.
on May 5th, just over a week ago. But before any witnesses were called, the courtroom was focused on something else, choosing the jury. 12 jurors, along with 6 alternates, had to be selected through a careful vetting process. Because of how high profile this case is, each juror is staying anonymous, and they were grilled on whether they could stay truly impartial, despite all the headlines. Once the jury was locked in, both sides gave their opening statements, and from there, the tone was set. This would be a quiet trial. It wasn't until the 12th of May that the first witnesses were finally called to the stand. But before the trial even kicked off, there was already major movement behind the scenes. Just days before stepping into court, Diddy turned down a plea deal offered by federal prosecutors. He confirmed his decision with Judge Arun Subramanian just 4 days before trial was set to begin. This meant he was ready to fight all 5 of the federal charges against him, including sex trafficking and racketeering. And he made it clear he was pleading not guilty to all of them. On his initial appearance on this trial, Diddy wore a plain sweater and looked straight at his mother and kids sitting at the gallery. He blew them a kiss, made a heart with his hands, and gave them a thumbs up. They smiled back and a few raised their fists in support. They didn't say a word the entire day, not when they arrived, not when they left, but his family was there to support him. The prosecution started things off by setting the tone right away. It was an all-female team, and they began by laying out the image everyone already knows. Puff Daddy, Diddy, a cultural icon, a billionaire businessman, a mogul. But then
it was already going bad in this John. I ain't gonna lie. Like, basically, I'm seeing where this is going. They're on the type of tip where it's like, yeah, the way they're like painting him out to be, like, yeah, it's already going like in a negative way for him. Duh, clearly. But that's, bro, P Diddy Dizzler. We about to give him some sympathy.
I don't know. Let's not even go with that.
Using
that
his family to
apology.
get sympathy, and it's like I understand. Obviously, this is his family. Like, duh, they're gonna support him and like Jones like that. Like, yo, especially like his kids and his wife. Like, but from people from the outside that like don't have that family familial connection with him, yeah, like I can put that past you, bruv. Like, yo, it's looking crazy.
Then they hit the jury with this. There was another side to Diddy, a darker side the public never saw. And that's what they said this trial is really about. Diddy was a man who ran a criminal enterprise, they said, along with an inner circle of bodyguards and employees who helped him cover up alleged crimes including kidnapping, arson, drugs, sex crimes, bribery, and obstruction. Prosecutors told the jury that Diddy wasn't just a music mogul.
Is that Al Sharpton?
Bro, the white parties.
That's Mary J?
No, wait, you have to point out. Wait, tell me who.
Al Sharpton.
Which one? Yeah, you could just go on the mouse.
Al Sharpton right here. Mary J. I don't know who these other two are, but I feel sorry. I feel...
It's just, yo, I don't know about Diddy my entire life until he popped up on my timeline. Yeah, because obviously with a lot of... Yo, I tell y'all this all the time. What does most prevalent on the internet? Negativity. So, obviously, huge, you know what I'm saying, corporate billionaire, like, you know what I'm saying, business mogul, whatever, Diddy, obviously all this stuff comes out. Yeah, this is going to pop up on a lot of heads' feeds. I ain't going to hold you.
Yeah, because even Trump, like I said, Trump said this is a popular case going on now. You got the president of the United States saying this is a popular case going on right now. And then you got Rambob, who's happy that his trial is going on the same day as Diddy. The same time as Diddy.
I'm not talking
his
about him right now.
protege or whatever.
No, I'm not
dumb.
talking about I'm not talking about right now.
Oh, wait. No wonder Kevin Hart has been in everything. He is Diddy's boy as per Cat Williams. Yeah. It's a lot of names.
Bro, don't get me started. We cannot be here for 2 hours on this one vid. Because if I start bringing up Usher,
don't even bring up Usher or Justin Bieber.
Behind closed doors, he acted like a king, literally. They said he would call himself the king and expected everyone around him to treat him like royalty. But they made it clear, this case isn't about what someone's into behind the scenes. It's about power, control, and straight up abuse. They claim Diddy used lies, threats, drugs, and violence to force women into disturbing situations that would go on for days. Then they introduced the very thing we all know as the freak-offs. These weren't random events, according to prosecutors. They were fully planned out sessions that Diddy even gave names to, like Wild King Nights and Wild Hotel Nights. They said women were forced to sleep with male escorts while Diddy washed, gave instructions, and recorded the entire thing. After the prosecution statement,
I
is the videotape?
This is what I'm saying. Obviously, like, yo, you don't want them Jones to be leaked or anything like that. Like, clearly we can make that distinction. Like, that would be horrible. My main thing to obviously, like, them being out is that, like, there's proof definitively that Diddy did do these things. He had these things going on, and, like, this can be correlated back to him, which then stamps it in more like, yo, bruv, we will be seeing you in cell block 1. That is tough.
It's a lot of people going to be in that cell block.
Yo,
well, they got,
cell block 1 got capacity full. Yo, this show crazy.
I don't know, maybe
yo, there's so many. This is what I'm saying, yo.
That's like that.
On Mama Trail and the Trill Talks, everything, yo, cell block 1, yo. They gotta add some more space. Yo, a lot of y'all.
Stop doing these.
A lot of y'all fools. I'm gonna see y'all in cell block. That's tough. They gonna need a new wing.
Oh my
this
God.
Joint, bro. I'm not even trying to be funny for real. It's like a lot of these people these days. I don't know what it is. Like, yo, y'all could just.
What is it?
Like, you could just chill.
Cell block 1.2, 2.2. I don't know.
I'm done.
I don't know.
Man, I ain't talking to you.
Oh wait. Oh, it's her ex-husband. Okay.
Let me see. The guy next to her is Mary J. Wait, the guy next to Mary
go
J
back
is her
up.
ex-husband.
Because Hag was asking about is Usher involved?
Is Usher involved?
Usher
Kevin
involved?
Hart, he's currently the face of Qatar Airways safety in flight right now.
Ooh,
is he really? What?
Who? Kevin Hart? Okay, wait. I like Kevin Hart.
Is Usher involved? Very much so. He's literally
it's
like
his fault. I mean, not his fault, but.
He is like I don't know how to explain it. Like he went to the Puffy Flavor camp. No cap. Y'all know, like, the thing that Justin Bieber also went to or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then from there on, he acknowledged that, yo, the things going on at the Puffy Flavor camp were bad and terrible. They asked him on the interview, would he send his children there? He said, man, hockey stick nah. Hockey stick nah.
What happened while he was there?
So then Mr. Usher, okay, I understand now. I wouldn't send my children there either. But why wouldn't you send your children there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why? What was going on at the Puffy?
And so therefore, you know what's going on, and you stayed close collaborators with Diddy for a good amount of time until a good amount of stuff was coming out. Then you're making the separation. What do you know, brother? Mm-hmm. But I'm just some bull on the internet.
And
so
then they brought Justin Bieber along.
That's why.
Sorry for him.
Yeah, he's a whole different John in his case. I covered him on my page.
Oh yeah, he's.
But like, yeah, his recent John is bad works.
Hey,
but
Dan.
like, coming off of that, again, I'm just a bull on the YouTube. That's why I'm saying with the trial, I'm waiting for the subpoena list. That's all I'm waiting for. I cannot wait.
The defense finally got their turn, and they came in with a different angle. Sean Combs is a complicated man, they told the jury. But according to them, this case isn't complicated at all. They said was being described in court were adults making adult decisions, consensual relationships that are now being twisted into something else. The defense argued that the government is trying to paint a false picture, turning private behavior into criminal accusations. You're not here to judge him for his sexual preferences, they said. And when it came to one of Diddy's accusers, the defense stated and claimed she was in a relationship with Diddy and wasn't being trafficked at all. The defense didn't shy away from Diddy's flaws. They told the jury straight up, yeah, Sean Combs has a bad temper. Yeah, he can be out of control. But in their words, he's not on trial for being mean or a jerk. They pushed back on the government's claims that this case isn't about his private sex life, saying let's be
on.
Yo, what?
Why?
Yo, Diddy. Yo,
maybe
Diddy,
it's me, bro.
This is, yo,
it's my turn around. I ain't got no shit.
Diddy, you too old to be skinwalking Jack Doherty. This is like, yo, come on, yo, Bud.
Yeah.
Bud, aren't you a billionaire, bro? Come on, man.
Real, it absolutely is. They argue that just because something sounds wild or messy doesn't make it criminal. They also admitted that Diddy is a drug user. They even joked about the famous baby oil revelation by saying, you may have heard about his love of baby oil, but made sure to remind the jury that's not a federal crime. According to them, the women involved were willing participants.
Yeah, owning baby oil is not a federal crime.
It's not.
What was he doing with the baby oil? Because those might have been.
Adults who made their own choices day after day, year after year. So at this point in the trial, both the prosecution and the defense have laid everything out. They've set the tone for what they're fighting for and what they're fighting against. On one side, the prosecution is painting a dark picture of Diddy as a manipulative, controlling figure who used his power to abuse women behind closed doors. They're calling him calculated, dangerous, and someone who believed he was untouchable. And on the other side, the defense is saying that this is all being blown out of proportion. They admit Diddy is imperfect.
Yo, man, it's so crazy to me how much him and Kanye be twinning up. But y'all know that, I mean, at least for Kanye, Diddy's twin folk in them. He want free
let's
Diddy.
not even start talking about Kanye.
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
That's a whole
it's
different.
Like, is anybody normal or regular or?
Yeah, Diddy a drug user? No S. No facts. Like, duh. Like.
Oh yeah, they did say that baby oil was lace.
The baby oil was lace. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what.
Is there any? Hey, can y'all put in the chat anybody normal? Like everybody going to cell block 1. Everybody drugs. Everybody can't tell how old the person is. It's like, is it? All right, come on, cause I can't.
It's just like so raw. And my thing is, I just don't understand. Like, there's so much stuff again, like coming out now, and obviously it's good that all this stuff is coming out, so that Diddy can obviously be getting not even it's not even stupid actions, stupid consequences. This is horrendous actions and the very much justifiable consequences, right? So like obviously, but like then again, there was so much stuff, and there's like stuff been coming out for years. Like you could have wished this guy could have been cooked way earlier, so
but they were saying some people was trying.
That's obviously that's what I'm saying. So that a good amount of the victims in these situations obviously will never have to go through this trauma and things and such like that.
Yo, that Escort guy, he was like, it was a job.
What's up?
That Escort, one of the escorts, he was like, it was a job. He did those actions. He was like, it was a job. He was getting paid. It was a job.
I don't know though. Like, I totally understand because again, job markets and things and such like that, it'd be hard to find like other employment in Johns. But like, that your boss is doing all this. He got you recording freak offs and job. I don't know if it's a job at that point, Brado.
He said it was a job. He was an escort. So.
Like, that is insane.
Perfect. He's got a temper, he uses drugs, and his personal life is far from clean. But they argue that none of that makes him guilty of SEX trafficking.
Unchecked power maybe led to this. This is 100. That's 100% what led to this. No, who was checking Diddy on his power? This is P. Diddy Dizzler. Yo, this guy was a billionaire. You gonna again? That's why I say he was twin folking with Kanye. How is Kanye right now? Kanye not taking nothing from no one, and that's exactly why he's in the situation he's in right now. I'm like, yo, bro, no, yes, man, it's yes men syndrome. You cannot be like have and be surrounded by yes men. That is going to destroy you.
In their eyes, this is about adults making their own choices, not about criminal behavior. But at the end of the day, this is a criminal trial, and once opening statements wrapped up, it was time for the evidence to speak up. The first witness called to the stand in this trial was Israel Flores, who was a former security guard at a Los Angeles hotel, now an LAPD officer and longtime U.S. Army reservist. He was working the night of a disturbing 2016 incident where surveillance footage shows Diddy violently attacking his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Flores told the jury that
blurted out. That's good.
Like you can't tell me, yo, you're so like you ran out of the hotel room in a towel, out. They all like you cannot tell me that you're not guilty. What are you gonna say?
He know he was guilty of that.
Well, yeah, because we saw his apology was the top 5 worst of all time. That is, yo, he's a.
No, Ryan's right.
My
Feels
God.
like Diddy just taking over where Suge Knight left off. Yeah.
I mean,
because Suge Knight was woo.
I was about to say, wasn't Diddy and Suge Knight beefing?
No, just saying, Diddy was doing the Suge Knight thing because Suge Knight was something on that West Coast.
Oh, yeah, with the whole junk going on Tupac and Biggie and all that. Oh, yeah, I still, That's a whole nother John that need to be talked about.
That he responded to a call about a woman in distress. When he arrived on the 6th floor, he found Diddy wearing only a towel and socks, and Cassie covered in a hoodie. He said Cassie looked scared and kept asking for her phone and her bag. But according to Israel Flores, Diddy told her, "You're not gonna leave." As the situation escalated, Flores said Cassie eventually left the hotel, but not before Diddy allegedly tried to cover it all up. He claimed Diddy threw a stack of money at him and said, "Don't tell anyone." When one of the prosecutors, Christy Slavic, asked what that meant, Flores didn't hesitate. It was a bribe, he said. He also testified that he noticed Cassie had a visibly swollen purple eye, and that Diddy had a
This is what I'm saying. Like, how could you look me in the face and be like, yo, this is just a job, bro? Like, this is wrong, bro. Like, you have to say something, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're blatantly seeing domestic abuse and junk like that. Like, you have to say something, bro.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Like, I totally understand. Like, yo, you gotta feed your family. Like, this is a whole conversation we got. But like,
there's some
bro,
things you gotta have respect for.
You just gonna take the bribe, bro. This fool Diddy's evil, bro. Like I just seen like Ryushin say he's practically a supervillain. This fool is the Joker. I've been saying that ever since we started coming. This fool is like the real life Joker. Like, bruh. I swear, every time I be hearing Jones about Diddy, bro.
Devilish stare. He said there was another man in the room and recalled Diddy grabbing a phone from another security guard. However, on cross-examination, Diddy's defense team went straight to work trying to poke holes in his story. They pointed out that several details like Cassie's purple eye was never included in his original incident report. At one point, they directly asked where in the report it mentioned her injury, and then Flores admitted it doesn't. He also confirmed under questioning that when he first arrived, Diddy wasn't just being physically aggressive. He didn't appear drunk or high and was actually acting cordial. The second witness to take the stand wasn't a security guard. He wasn't a bystander. He was inside the room, again and again. Daniel Phillip, a 41-year-old male escort, stood before the jury and began to pull back the curtain on a world most people couldn't imagine. It started back in 2012. Phillip thought he was headed to a bachelorette party. He threw on an NYPD t-shirt as a costume and showed up at the luxury Gramercy Park Hotel in New York.
Great.
As a costume?
Great.
What?
An NYPD as a costume.
The
Great.
officer showed up in a cop costume.
Ooh, great. Go ahead.
But there was no crowd, no party, just one woman waiting behind the door. She had on red lingerie, high heels, a red wig, and dark sunglasses. Phillip later found out this was Cassie Ventura. She told him it was her birthday and her husband wanted to surprise her. She handed Phillip a stack of cash and asked if he'd be okay rubbing baby oil on her.
According to Ventura, said it was her birthday. Yeah, okay. Her husband wanted to get her something special for her. She asked me if I would mind rubbing baby on her. Okay.
While her man washed. When Phillip stepped
on her, he's gonna massage things.
Well, oh, so wait, he didn't even know it was okay.
Ventura gave him a few. Yeah, okay. I'm just reading through to make
All
sure.
right.
That's like, yo, this is what they were saying. Yeah, this is leading to that John where they were saying like, yeah, Diddy would get like male escorts or whatever to like do things.
This
Horrendous, horrible things.
The
yeah, when the freak offs was getting to like horrendous, horrible thing to like Cassie, and he would sit there. He would sit there in his cuck chair, sit there in his cuck chair, and just, bro, this show is
nasty.
So
this nasty,
bro. Like this, I swear.
I can't.
I remember
nasty.
back when we like first started covering this, John, bro. Like you could go back and see them, Johns, yo. Like yo, our faces, bro.
into the candlelit suit, there was a robed man sitting silently in the corner. Bandana over his face, baseball cap pulled low. Phillip didn't know who he was until
Who? I bet I know.
He heard him speak. It was P. Diddy.
He probably said, "Ooh, P. Diddy, okay."
That night on, Phillip was pulled into a world he now calls ritualistic. These weren't random encounters. They were planned, rehearsed, controlled. Every move, every...
Yo, Dragon said, being a celebrity will never be an easy job, but gotta be careful, and fans can help reduce a celebrity. And fans can help celebrities reduce stress. I feel like to a factor, this is why I always say you can't play into, like, parasociality that much. Like, you know, so obviously within, like, whatever means you do to put out content or put out, like, you know, stuff to where people can consume whatever you're doing. Like, you can have that attachment. You can like show love to your audience and fans like that. But obviously, if you get to the degree where some heads be having like orbiters and stuff like that, or to where like you're in Diddy's position, if we're talking about this, and where like you're this huge mogul, you're a billionaire, and people obviously are gonna want to be close to you, associate with you, because they want to, you know, get some of your status, some of your money, your clout, this, that, and the third. Like, yeah, this corrupts people, yo. It be cooking them. I'm not gonna lie. But in the case of where you want to do in most situations, like, yo, you just keep it P, you know what I'm saying? You show appreciation to your audience or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You show love because they're showing love to you, and you keep it cordial and cool. Whenever you have, like, you know what I'm saying, obviously, like, IRL scenarios or scenarios where you're outside and you interact with people who do support you and stuff like that, let's keep it P's. You don't got to keep it rude. But in the case you run into somebody that is on some weird Johns, hey, listen, I say all the time, you should keep it P's. Let's keep it cool. But, yo, you can't be mad at me if you already came up hostile. I'm like, brother, I got to protect myself and my fam. Let's keep it cool. But y'all already know. At least for Trillian and the boss, hey, man, y'all see us. I'm showing love. I'm like, yo, what's up? I ain't gonna lie. You watch them garbage buying videos? That's tough. Like, y'all probably really would say that.
I be done with him, y'all.
Probably really would say that.
Help me. I be really be done with him.
But
I gotta get my own show.
But nah, in a serious manner, like I'm putting this back to Diddy, this is gonna fry you. Yeah, like again, like I was saying earlier, yes, man, completely surrounded again with the guy that we just came off, the security guard. He obviously took the bribes and all that. He's saying it's just a job. Like, nah, when you get into like this Hollywood junk, that's why I always say, yo, that's not my type energy. I'm never going out doing associate.
Well, right now we up to the Escort. The Escort's the one that said he went in there to do a job and he realized it was Pity, Sean, P. Diddy, Combs. Okay, go ahead.
Every word, even the moment he was supposed to climax, Diddy called the shots. At first, Philip was excited. The money was good, sometimes up to $6,000, and he felt like he'd been invited into something exclusive, but that feeling didn't last. One night, however, changed everything. Philip said Diddy called out to Cassie, but she didn't come fast enough. In a flash, Diddy allegedly threw a liquor bottle across the room, smashing it into a wall. He then dragged Cassie by her hair into the bedroom while she screamed and apologized. Philip said he'd stood frozen, hearing slaps through the door and Diddy yelling, "When I tell you to come, you come now." Moments later, Diddy walked out like nothing had happened and asked, "Y'all ready to continue?" From that point on, the fear set in.
What?
Philip said he tried warning Cassie.
Ready to continue what? Because
I'm sure
everything done gone.
I'm sure it did set in. I ain't gonna lie.
God.
I don't know why it didn't set in when you were kind of witnessing a freak off. I mean,
Oh my God.
During another freak-off session, he asked why she stayed with someone who hit her. She just told him it'll be okay. But the sessions only got darker. He once walked in and saw Cassie passed out on a couch, half on, half off. Diddy looked at him and said, "I don't think this is gonna happen today." Other times, bottles of baby oil and lube were already out, used. And sometimes other escorts were already there.
Whoa. Whoa, that's a lot.
I'm so mad because, yo, Mark was really trying to argue that them baby oils really didn't mean anything. Yo,
Yeah,
Mark
well,
was really getting me mad, bro.
That lawyer. Ain't that lawyer gone?
Nah, that was the other one. I
the
forgot
other
what his
one.
name was.
Mark's still there?
That was the black dude. Yeah,
Okay.
That was like he said, ooh. He said no. He looked at this John because I think was he on the one for who? Yo, I don't want to spread no misinformation.
All right.
But I do know that he was the guy that definitely was the one that walked away from the Diddy junk because he was like, yeah, out of all the cases I ever covered, this was the most heinous junk I ever seen. He dipped out. But Mark was his Mark what did he say? Agnolfino or something like that? Yeah, nah, Mark is his main lawyer. Mark was the one that was trying to say like, yeah, the baby oils hit her. There's nothing wrong with owning them Jones. I'm like, bro. I think there is.
Sometimes Diddy also filmed. Philip even claimed that Diddy once took a photo of his driver's license and said, "It's just for insurance." Philip said he took that as a threat, a reminder of who had the power in the room. He also told the jury about a time he took ecstasy before a session and ended up so euphoric, he left the hotel and started handing out $100 bills in Times Square. But beneath all that, he said, was fear. The man had power, Philip said, and I thought even
Agrophilo. Okay, facts.
if I went to the police, I might still end up dead. And at this point in the testimony, Diddy's family, who was in the audience, specifically his daughters, they stood up and left the room, and they didn't come back. The next day during...
Yeah, of course not. I wouldn't even want them. I wouldn't even want them. He's talking about in the court.
Oh yeah, this.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want them to even
Yeah,
listen
like
to all that.
that's what I'm
either.
saying. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that is just terrible. So they had because they had to like obviously
They had to go detail.
show
yes,
like the presentation in the courtroom and all that type of jazz. Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, I remember
This-
Dan. Yeah, Costco did say they don't sell baby oil. All right, come on, keep going.
Yeah, that was so
Keep going, 'cause
stupid.
this is
That
killing
was
me.
actually stupid, but that's still not funny. And this is absolutely terrible too. Yeah, obviously you wouldn't want his daughters to be seeing this type of jazz.
Right.
And like obviously you don't want to traumatize his children. I wouldn't. Y'all know how I do TLC for all kids. You know, miracles brought in the world and all this jazz. I think it just sucks that your father is just even in this situation. Like I don't know. Like he was in a very successful John, and that success and all that money, power, clout, or whatever really corrupted his mind. But yeah, obviously I think it is good that they were not present for this because it's just terrible.
Specifically his daughters, they stood up and left the room, and they didn't come back. The next day, during
They shouldn't
cross-examination, Diddy's lawyers tried to poke holes in his story, pointing out things he hadn't said in earlier interviews. But when prosecutors pressed him again, they didn't waste time. Was Diddy the man who threw the liquor bottle? Yes, he said. The man who dragged Cassie by the hair? Yes. The man who yelled, slapped her, and then asked if the freak-off would continue? Yes. Philip didn't hesitate and answered yes to all these questions. And now we have one of the most important voices in this entire case, Cassie Ventura. Cassie first met Diddy back in 2005. She was just 19 years old, young, new to the industry, and dating producer Ryan Leslie at the time. But that all changed after she signed a 10-album deal with Diddy's label, Bad Boy Records. Not long after, their relationship shifted from business to personal. By the time she turned 21, Diddy kissed her in Las Vegas, an experience Cassie said made her feel uncomfortable and confused. However, from there, the two...
Yeah, I'm
so
sure
then,
it would.
I don't know. I guess she got to leave, or she couldn't leave because she got the deal.
She
yeah,
signed
but the
the
record
deal.
deal and say, okay. Anyway.
Nah, that's right. That's what I'm saying.
The record
I
deal
always
and
say I ain't gonna cap. Like, yo, I know like heads be trying to sign a deal with the record labels and all that because they will give you that like market or industry push, because I ain't gonna lie, it's really not even an industry push for real or whatever. But yeah, I ain't signing no deal because as far as I'm concerned, you might as well be signing your soul away. So I'm good. I ain't gonna lie. And let's be honest here, I know all y'all click that box on the terms and conditions. Y'all not reading that, boy. So you think you're reading this whole contract for a deal? You're not. I ain't gonna cap. And are most of these heads hiring lawyers and all that to do that? They're mostly not. These fools are just, again, going on band labs, cooking up Johns. Next thing you know, they popped off.
Sorry, David said, why the Bad Boy Records logo was a baby drill? It was just Bad Boy Records. Anyway, that's deep. That's deep. That's a good question.
It all just only tends to get worse in hindsight, does it? Tough.
And they was talking in the chat about cleaning up the cleaners and the people cleaning up the hotel. I just felt bad for like the maids and the butlers and like they got to question all of them and they had to witness all that and clean all that up and anyway,
that's what I'm.
Keep going, Cassie. She's so pretty.
Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. I'm gonna keep stamping it in, and we back on the lives, baby. Y'all already know how that goes down. There's nothing wrong with being normal. There is nothing. Come on,
cause ain't nobody out here normal.
What you mean? No. I'm talking. No. I'm saying everyone got their own quirkiness, uniqueness, and all that. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about normal as in you don't go out and be P Diddy Dizzler. Where is my baby oil bottle?
And then
there
it's
we
really
go.
sad because some people want to just do the same thing or.
Yes, they do. His name is Rambob Underpants because he wants to be Diddy's protege and Epstein's. Yes,
he went to the statues.
I'ma save it.
I'ma
save it.
And what's his
we
name
still
in the
gotta
Discord?
cover him today.
Oh yeah, we gotta get to him. And what's his Discord name? Somali Diddy. Okay.
Anyway. with what profile picture?
P Diddy. Yeah. See, Rambo, we coming for you. So if you peeked in, peek back in, cause I got something for you too.
He didn't. He.
And I'ma sing my song.
He not here. He not here. Trust me, he's not here.
He's
and funny enough,
Discord.
he's not here for multiple reasons. Because he's in his Discord right now. He's
hiding from Andrew.
No. He's getting that boy wiped. At least I hope, because if he's
better,
not after that last one we
okay,
see.
Anyway, come on, we gotta leave that on. We gonna get to that, cause
Okay, I can't wait for that joke.
Two began seeing each other more often. Behind the scenes, their relationship started to grow, even though it wasn't public. At that point, Diddy was still in a relationship with the late Kim Porter. Cassie said the romance had to stay in the shadows for a long time. But what started as a private relationship between an artist and a mogul eventually spiraled into something much darker. Cassie, who back in November 2023 started a very negative ripple effect for Diddy by filing the first lawsuit against him. She now finally took the stand in this trial. And when she walked into that courtroom, 8.5 months pregnant, it wasn't just another witness showing up. It was personal, emotional, and heavy. Cassie sat in front of the jury and began to unravel the truth about the relationship she had with Diddy. A relationship that stretched over a decade, on and off, public and secret, and as she described it, deeply abusive. Cassie told the court there were constant violent arguments, and most of the time, they ended in physical abuse. Dragging, kicking, hitting. Her response was simple: too frequently. Throughout her testimony, you could see the toll it was taking. She wiped away tears, placed her hand on her stomach, paused to breathe, but she kept going. Then came the part everyone knew was coming: the freak-offs. Cassie explained that the freak-offs were Diddy's fantasy. He would hire escorts and set the stage.
Oh,
alright, come on, go.
That was horrible.
His fantasies.
Not because of Blackie Speaks, but to just this was Diddy's fantasies?
Bomba God!
Oh, no.
Stage for her to perform for him, sometimes with strangers, sometimes with other male escorts. Diddy would watch, direct everything, and film it. Eventually, it became a job for me, she said. Cassie told the jury she felt like she couldn't say no. She didn't want to make him angry.
Prosecutor know anything about
them videos, boy. They good to pick up. Well, then back then it was a camcorder.
My thing is like, are they showing all of these if they have access to them in these courtrooms? Because like I'm telling you, as cooked as P Diddy Dizzler can be, as Sean Diddy Combs can be, he needs to be cooked. I don't even want them to show all the Jones, but the factor, can they prove that these things exist? or whatever. Because like it's one thing to where it's like, okay, we're showing them like that they had to bring their, like, obviously take his daughters out or whatever, you know, to not see this. They're showing this boy like, yeah, no, explain this, right? And then there's like, okay, it's so graphic and bad, like, we not gonna show this, but it still exists. Because then it's the factor of like, okay, all this exists, some of this we're showing, others we can't, but we know it exists. You're cooked on all of these.
They probably show it in the judge chamber.
That's what I'm saying.
They're probably going to judge's chamber and watch those videos instead of having it in court. But the crazy thing is, we're filming everything. When does it stop? We're filming everything.
And he been filming John since he been filming since the 90s too. So he really
had the camcorder.
He's really the original nuisance IRL streamer, idiot, moron, recording or doing the dumb things. Like
he had the camcorder.
It's like, oh my god, bro. This is all
right.
Go.
Just highlighted how Diddy controlled nearly every aspect of her life. Her clothes, her hair, who she talked to, and even what happened during those freak-offs.
This is so... See, this is what is scaring me. That's why I keep bringing up Kanye. This is so eerie to Kanye, because this is what people are saying about Kanye with Bianca. The same thing, like, taking it, like, how, like, yo, it must be Kanye taking over whole John. This is why she was dressing so crazy.
No, she's just in a plastic bag.
Like,
so.
yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm not, no true trill theory conspiracies, or I'm just saying, kind of similar, a little weird.
He preferred her nails painted white, told her how to comb her hair, even suggesting breast implants. When she was being punished, his team would take away her laptop and her phone. For how long? It depended, she said. During these freak-off sessions, Cassie started using drugs. Drugs Diddy allegedly provided. She said they helped her disassociate from what was happening. It had a numbing effect, she said. But the pain didn't stop for Cassie, and over time, she stopped wanting to do these freak-offs. And she said they made her feel humiliated, worthless, and like she was only good for one thing. I was an object, I was...
Yes, I would imagine in a situation
was she still
like
singing?
That. What's up?
Was she still singing?
Was
she still singing?
Oh yeah, because again, she still had those deal. Remember, she signed the 10-hour deal. But like, obviously, and that's what I'm saying. It's really sympathetic on her part because, like, yo, I'm sure she would be feeling very much like that. Like, she's directly being used in these situations, bro. Again, by this. She
wasn't the only one, so.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
All right, come on.
Yo, Diddy got to get minimum 100 years. Like he
they say he can get from 15 years to life.
There's no way he getting 15.
15 years to life.
Bro, he get 15 years, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, bro, the conversations with the government, yeah, it's gonna get real dangerous. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, not by me, but I'm just gonna say, especially on like Twitter and John. Oh, it's gonna get disgusting.
Was heavily objectified, she said. Even while menstruating, she was expected to participate. She described moments where people were directed to urinate on her. One time she said she began choking because there was too much urine in her mouth. She raised her hands to signal she couldn't breathe. And only then did Diddy tell the man to stop. And then Cassie said that Diddy himself, pissed in her mouth, okay?
Ew.
She testified that Diddy would sometimes film these encounters,
Don't
either on his phone or on hers. Cassie said that she would then delete the videos afterwards because she never wanted anyone to see her like that, in compromising gross positions with strangers. Now, as their relationship started to develop behind the scenes, things were moving extremely fast. Cassie said Diddy's world was nothing like hers. Assistance on call, power, money, private jets, full control, and along with that came...
If convicted of everything, life without parole, facts. Now, Maddie, don't forget I'm a second going into my third year of law school, so I got you on this stuff.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations, Maddie.
I'm like, yo, facts, I ain't gonna lie, we doing our schooling. But yeah, on a relative, Karmic is saying, oh God, it just keeps getting worse. That's what I'm saying. I'm just told.
And we just in the beginning. We didn't even start talking about the Puffy Flavor Camp and all that other stuff.
That discourse is gonna be absolutely terrible. Like, I'm not even mentally prepared for this, clearly, as we're going into. I'm definitely not mentally prepared for that. Like, especially if anything, when Justin Bieber was like obviously a jit during that time with Diddy, it comes out and it's getting real freaky. That's an X out for me. I'm not covering that. That's an X out. Like, bro, nope. It's already very horrendous, heinous, disgusting, abhorrent, terrible. Like,
in his dark side, his temper. She said she never knew what version of him would show up. Sometimes he was calm, other times he'd scream, explode, and hurt her. Make the wrong face, and the next thing I knew, I'd get hit, she told the jury. Watch her mouth, Diddy told Cassie multiple times before striking her. And Cassie said in this trial that, she lived in fear every day, every minute, And she also recalled, times when Diddy made her carry guns. One time they were in the middle of a freak-off in LA, and Diddy told Cassie that Suge Knight was at Mel's Diner. Suddenly they packed up and drove down there. She was crying, testified, "Please don't do anything stupid," she kept saying. She didn't know what he was gonna do, she just knew it involved a gun and his longtime rival. Before the day ended, prosecutors brought up the infamous hotel surveillance video from 2016, the one where Diddy is seen attacking Cassie. She told the jury that they had just finished a freak-off with a male escort, and that Diddy hit her. She grabbed her things and left. When asked how many times Diddy had thrown her to the ground like that, her response was deep. "Too many to count," Cassie said. And Cassie's words hit different. It wasn't just about the trial anymore. It was about the silence, control, and the years she spent trapped behind closed doors.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she wasn't able to really get her voice out for so long, going through all this terrible, like, horrendous, heinous things. I know what I'm saying. It's just, oh my Jesus, man.
Well,
Cassie described.
This, so.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, he's guilty of this. So.
Oh yeah, no. This is like without a doubt.
But now it's all the other stuff that he's pleading not guilty that they got to try to prove.
To clarify, Diddy is trying to push that my bad. I can't even read. To clarify, Diddy is trying to push that his abusers, his partners, he doesn't traffic them. He seems to find the goal for his defense. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know where we gonna get it from, Ryan.
That's what I'm saying. His defense is like his defense. I ain't gonna lie. It's not looking that rock solid. I'll tell you. It's
so. All right, come on, keep going.
Also, the government has already proven the RICO charges. Now, I'd imagine they could already get him on that because, like, especially through like his businesses and means like that. I'd imagine he probably definitely was on like some levels money laundering and things as such.
It wasn't just abuse. It was a system created by Diddy, according to her, one that had been hidden in plain sight for over a decade. Cassie's testimony in this trial is extremely important. I mean, she was the one by Diddy's side while all this was allegedly happening, under pressure, threats, and control. She's seen it all, and so when she speaks, it's not just a story, it's the core of the case. Whether or not the jury believes her could be the difference between Diddy walking free or spending the rest of his life behind bars. Although Cassie's testimony was powerful, however, the defense has already started pushing back. On day 4 of the trial, Cassie was cross-examined by Diddy's lawyers, who brought out old emails and text messages between them, trying to paint a different picture. Some of the messages were romantic, others were sexual. In one text message, Cassie told Diddy she was always ready to freak off. In another, she wrote, "Wish we could have FO'd, freaked off before you left." When asked about those messages, Cassie told the jury they were just words at that point. She explained that yes, she loved him, yes, she wanted to make him happy, but behind all this was pressure, fear, and years of control. She admitted she had fallen in love.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is just plain. Like, she directly was being manipulated into saying this, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it is very clear. Like, even like Blackie Speaks is saying that she was feeling pressure to, probably play into like, I'm so ready to do this, Diddy.
To make it easy for her.
Like, obviously, so this fool wouldn't crash out and it would get way worse.
Let me act like I'm really down with this so I can be safe today.
And then that just goes to more even like to say like how horrible this is. Obviously, she had to shelve herself and not be able to express how she was truly feeling and the very traumatic things she was going through.
Love with him and cared about him deeply, but that doesn't erase what happened. At the time, I wanted to make him happy, Cassie said. So in Cassie's defense, she wasn't a willing participant. She was someone trying to survive a relationship built on fear, power, and control. And that contrast is what the jury now has to wrestle with. And this is a very big aspect of this case, right? And so I think her testimony needs to be highlighted here, which is exactly what they've been wrestling with. Because after Cassie finished giving her testimony, aside from the cross-examination that followed, it was time to test just how truthful her story really was. So that's when Carrie Morgan, Cassie's longtime friend, was called to the stand. Carrie Morgan, one of Cassie's closest friends at the time, took the stand next. The two had known each other for years, since around 2001 when Carrie met Cassie on a modeling shoot. Cassie was just 15 at the time, and by 2004, they were living together in New York City and stayed close for a long time. But their friendship eventually came to an end in 2018. That's when Carrie says Diddy assaulted her, and after that, everything changed. Carrie told the jury that Diddy has two sides. One moment he'd be generous and charming, and the next he'd switch and become aggressive. She described spending a lot of time around both Diddy and Cassie. They traveled all over the US together, and even internationally to places like Spain and Italy. During that time, Carrie said she built a close relationship with both of them. But she also revealed something darker. Carrie testified that they would often take drugs, and according to her, those drugs were provided by Diddy himself.
She admitted that they was taking drugs. I was thinking maybe he tried to threaten her too, or probably say you can't be her friend, or if you're gonna be her friend, you got to do certain things.
Yeah, you gotta like give Jones as well.
And
then came.
My bad, keep going.
No, so then she had no choice.
But it seems as though she did not participate. So at least good in that aspect.
Dawn Richard, former Danity Kane member and someone who lived inside Diddy's world. She didn't hold back. She said Diddy would punch, slap, and even drag Cassie, and he once hit her with a skillet. One of the worst moments was at a dinner with stars like Usher and Neo watching. Diddy...
What's that first name he said? Usher. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, yeah.
I'm waiting for Usher, boy.
I'm telling you, I would share sympathy. Like, I would share sympathy with Usher, and I feel terrible that he really even had to participate in that Puffy Flavor Camp John, too. But, like, yo, he went back and was still, like, close with Diddy. Like, you know something, bro.
Yo, you know a lot. I don't care. You know a lot.
Something. You know at least about the Puffy Flavor Camp, and that's already good enough for me. I just want to know about that. But you know other Jones, too.
Allegedly punched Cassie in the stomach mid-argument. In the car afterwards, she said he grabbed her by the neck and slapped her for speaking up. Dawn said she often saw Cassie with bruises, covered up with makeup and long sleeves. Diddy's control ran deep. He once told Cassie, "I own you." Her career only moved when he said so, and Dawn tried to help Cassie. She told Cassie that she should leave, and Cassie often looked scared. When Diddy found out, he shut it down by telling Dawn, "You're here to work, stop or you'll pay for it." Dawn ended up staying silent after that for her own safety. She also said Diddy kept weed, coke, and ketamine in a Louis Vuitton bag delivered by a dealer named One Stop. Always armed, always ready. The defense tried to catch Dawn slipping, and they brought up an old meeting where she supposedly said no one paid the dealer, but she stood firm on the fact that Diddy's assistant handed him the cash. After laying all that out, Dawn was asked in the trial why she waited so long to speak up. She told the jury, "I saw Cassie finally take the stand and tell the truth. That moment gave her the push she needed." She also said that she didn't come forward earlier because both Diddy and former Bad Boy Records president Harvey Pierre told her not to. And whenever her career gained traction,
of course they would have said that.
After leaving the label in 2011, Diddy would often call her directly or have his people blow up her phone until she picked up. So just like most of the witnesses, she was scared. I mean, if Diddy is the man who they say that he is, then he obviously wouldn't take someone coming out accusing him of being this type of person lightly.
Word, like he going to try to do everything in his power to try to get that silence.
He ain't doing that now.
Oh yeah.
Probably trying to eat, trying to get a meal like Vitaly. Try to get a meal.
They're getting him the utmost, the best meals ever. Y'all remember that? Actually, not even. It was directly for him. The meals he getting in jail. Y'all remember his John? Looking scrumptious. Diddy's.
Oh.
The ones he was getting in jail.
Well, look at our short.
I ain't gonna lie.
All right, go on.
Come on, man. That meal was looking very, very filling.
The reason why her testimony hits different is because she was extremely close to the situation. She knew Diddy and Cassie on a personal and professional level. Her testimony also ties the entire case the government is trying to build against Diddy together. Now, the next witness to take the stand was David James, Diddy's former assistant. This was the first time someone from Diddy's own inner circle came forward to testify in the trial, and that of course matters, because prosecutors are arguing that Diddy didn't operate alone. He ran this full-on criminal enterprise using his team to help carry out these so-called freak-offs, which is of course the biggest aspect of this criminal investigation. His former assistant told the court he was around Diddy every single day he worked. He traveled with him across the country and around the world.
Yeah, and then the first thing. Oh, my bad.
No, I was gonna say. So now, what part you played in?
Hey, and that was my question. Okay, so now my question is, what do you know?
Yeah. So what part you play?
You
and
know
I'm gonna
something.
say this. I'm pretty sure P. Diddy wasn't making the phone calls. Somebody had to make the phone calls to these certain hookups and stuff like that.
Get what was it? Well, remember that one video? I forgot what it was for, what we were watching, but they were talking about Trumpy or whatever, and how Trumpy had a fixer, and then we looked up what a fixer was, and a fixer is the guy who gets the back end stuff done. Let's say so.
This guy
he's Diddy's personal assistant, so I don't think he's like the direct back end fixer, but you're with Diddy every day when he works. Now we know Diddy, he's running his Bad Boys Entertainment, all these different ventures. Even through those, I'm sure Diddy, he got to keep it professional, but it seems to see from Mr. Dizzler himself, he has a hard time doing that consistently.
Yeah,
so you've seen and or know something. What is that?
See, this is crazy too, because now all these people are involved.
My thing is at this point,
do they go to jail?
What? My question is okay, do you go to jail because have you done anything, right? Have you done anything with Diddy? Because obviously there's it's really hard to go into, because it's you could be an accomplice of Diddy, but if you have never participated in any heinous acts, then obviously that's good that you haven't done anything bad. But then the question is, you should have said some, John.
Well.
But then my thing is now though, even if you were close John with it, I don't know, what are you scared of to tell the truth though? Because like I guess on your factor if you've done something bad, but if you haven't done anything bad individually, I don't see why you would be scared. Because so Diddy's cooked regardless. Like
you can snitch now.
What like is Diddy's people supposed to come after you? Okay, what is that gonna do for Diddy himself? He's still gonna stay in jail. It doesn't do anything. Like it's just like.
Well, you know he had that burner.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember he had that burner in jail.
I wonder if he still got that burner.
He ain't got that burner no more.
He had probably got.
And then he got sick. I remember he got sick.
I don't know, but again, this is me and the boss. We not lawyers. We not deep in the law. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Legal Mindset, whatever. But like, so obviously we not gonna know. But like, there's a lot of questions within all of this coming out that is further to ask. But then all of those questions ask more stuff when the trial comes out.
People are gonna be subpoenaed, and then what?
And then
what you gonna do? You gonna lie?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That opens up more open ended.
Trouble. Then what?
Also, tons of blackmail as well. That's actually a good factor, too. Like, a lot of people are going to lie because, they're being blackmailed by Diddy. And it... Dang, this is going to go on forever. Okay, like, I need to let y'all know, this is going to be at least, like, a year-long John, probably.
This remind me of Rambo.
Yeah, I was about to say, kind of like Johnny.
2026.
Yeah, his John is going in 2026.
Well, hey, they're going together.
And
that's what
his John been going on for 7 months by itself. So, like...
Yeah.
But even as close as he was, he said there were clear boundaries. Diddy's security would often tell him to stay in his lane, especially if he started asking questions. One moment that stood out during his testimony was when he recalled a conversation he had with Cassie. She looked at him and said, "Man, this lifestyle is crazy." He agreed and told her she should leave, but according to him, Cassie responded, I can't get out." James said she told him Diddy had full control over her music, career, her apartment, even the money Cassie was living on at the time. And that kind of control obviously says a lot.
That's why.
I would just be a loser.
Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta be honest. That's terrifying to me. I can't not know that my name is on the John, especially where I live. I can't that's terrifying to me. Or know that I'm not the bull paying for this John the John is in my name or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, know what I mean. Like that to me is actually like horrifying,
right,
bro.
Control of you and they could just kick you out. And put
you like you basically do not have control of your life, in which we're seeing Cassie during that point did not. Like, and obviously that's what I'm saying. I can feel for like her trauma during that. Like, yo, I can't even imagine. Like, you're not in control of anything. Your career in which you make music and all that. Oh, well, you're signed to Diddy, so whatever you do within that is controlled by him. Where you literally live, like, is controlled by him. What you put on, what you dress, bro. That is actually terrifying, bro. Like, but like you were saying, I'm sorry, like. That's what I'm saying. I'm never signing. Like, well, not that I'm gonna sign or whatever, be a huge rapper. But if I were to do music or whatever, I'm never signing. I guess I'm just never gonna be that huge. I'll just have to grow on my own. But then again, that's why I keep saying, in this day and age, bro, it had to be blown up on TikTok in like a week or whatever. Like, you can just do this on your own. So more or less stuff like this, I would say, can still obviously happen, but have a less chance to, because more people have like a barrier of entry, easier to post on TikTok and do stuff individually by themselves. But like, even during this time, like, obviously, I'm not trying to victim blame Cassandra and Cassie for this, because, like, still, she's very much the victim. And, like, yo, this is terrible. And obviously, Diddy is the Joker. But, like, yo, I would have just been like, nah, I gotta find a way, because Diddy isn't the way.
All right.
But this is just horrible.
And it backs up, what Cassie and others have already claimed in court. David James, Diddy's former assistant, said one of his jobs was setting up hotel rooms before Diddy arrived. If they're in New York, it was always the Trump International. That was his go-to spot. And he told a few stories about Diddy. One of them was when...
Nah, do I even want to do it?
No, don't do it. I already told you what he said.
Because I'm about to say, do I even want to do it?
No.
Nah. Do you? Yeah, you think on? Nah,
just go. We ain't gonna even involve him. No, come on, we're not involving Trump.
I'll leave.
Diddy spotted Suge Knight while picking up his food. When his security got back, Diddy was apparently outside arguing with Cassie, and she was crying. Then he turned towards his former assistant James and told him to circle back, with 3 guns in his lap. That was the first time James feared for his life, and he quit the job soon after. He also stated,
how come he was able to get out?
I can't blame him, but yeah, how
that's
was he able to get out so easily? That's good.
He got
that
out.
Diddy's paranoia ran deep. When a Cartier bracelet went missing, his team raided James and Cassie's belongings. No warning. The worst aspect
Wait, what? Hold on, let me see.
bracelet went missing, his team...
David James, a former assistant of Sean Diddy Combs, testified about an incident when one of Combs' Cartier bracelets went missing, prompting his security to search through all of his and then his girlfriend. Okay, so the assistants, dang, they just they just poured out like everything. Oh, they were doing like a shakedown type, and this was on his assistant and his assistant's wife. Yeah, this is just wow.
Raided James and Cassie's belongings. No warning. The worst aspect of this was that Diddy made him take a lie detector test twice, run by some guy claiming to be
for a Cartier bracelet. Diddy, you're a billionaire. Are you a moron? See, but you're right. That's what it really was. It was more or less to feel like, all right, bro, these fools, these ants, they ain't lying to me or whatever, right? Like, bro, this Cartier bracelet max like $15,000, brother. You have like $1 billion. Like $15,000 to you is $15. Like, what are we talking about? This is so stupid.
Ex-FBI, and he said that he was extremely intimidated by this in court. James also said that Diddy kept a medicine bag filled with Percocets and more. Sometimes the pills were unlabeled. A dealer called One Stop delivered directly, and security paid him off. James even admitted to, picking up some of these drugs himself, once in LA, another time in St. Tropez. And James' job was turn hotel rooms into playgrounds for the freak-offs. Everything from outfits, skincare.
See, that right there is a good question to what you were saying earlier, right? Like, see, he admitted himself that he went to go get drugs and or whatever, like for Diddy. Now he did not do the drugs, nothing like that. He was going to do it, but he still was participating in doing it. So, does he get any like charges for that? Or are we just looking at him as a witness or whatever? Like he was a victim as well.
Maddie.
Like that's what I'm saying. See, that's where I would ask those type of questions. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the trial length is expected to be 8 to 10 weeks. So what's that like? What's 8 to 10? Am I stupid? Every 4 weeks is a month. So like about 2 months.
About August.
Really?
We'll see.
I feel like it might be a little longer. I don't know. There's a lot. You know what? Nah, but at the same time, it just depends on how many people they actually do go with in subpoena. Which I'm sure a lot of them, they're going to shelve because, again, with this Hollywood, John, everyone's got to save face and save, you know what I'm saying, save their name. They got to be looking good for PR.
Oprah ain't going to court. She needs to.
Oh. A lot of heads probably won't.
Yeah.
Drinks, condoms, and lube. Diddy was never alone, and Cassie was usually there, sometimes other women as well. One night, Diddy barged in and accused James of writing a blog post about him hitting Cassie. James denied it. 2 days later, he dropped off food to Cassie at a hotel. She didn't come to the door. One of Diddy's people did, and she stayed at that hotel for a week. Now, this James guy is not, some guy in the background. He was inside the machine, contributed to things that were going on, and that's why his testimony is not only important, but it's kind of disturbing, right? He saw how things worked, how orders were given, and how people around Diddy moved. And that matters because this whole trial isn't just one person doing bad things. It's about the system the government says Diddy created. The big picture here is RICO racketeering charges, where prosecutors are arguing that Diddy was running a criminal enterprise behind the scenes, one that included drugs, violence, and coercion. According to the government, the freak-offs weren't just wild parties, they were a structured part of that enterprise, and James's testimony is helping the jury understand exactly how that structure worked. Now, Diddy's team is of course denying all this. They're saying that the relationships were consensual, but for the prosecution, this is all part of the bigger picture they're trying to paint. Diddy wasn't just some powerful man, he was allegedly the leader of something much darker and criminal. And then came one of the more unusual testimonies in this entire trial, the male escort. Prosecutors called up a man named Shirai Hayes, a former exotic dancer who used to go by the name of the Punisher. He said he was first contacted by a woman named Janet, who turned out to be Cassie. She said it was her birthday and her husband had given her permission to hire a dancer. Hayes eventually showed up to the suite at the Trump Hotel in New York, thinking it was just another job, but this wasn't a typical party, it was of course a Diddy party. When he eventually arrived, Cassie told him no dancing, just set the mood, and then handed him $800 and told him to oil up. Diddy sat in the corner quietly,
I just can't even believe, like, in
you
this...
don't need to dance, just put this on,
Oh my
and go
God.
handle your business. Ew. And I'm gonna sit here and watch this.
I just can't even believe, like, again, like, these are scenarios, again, that really happen, like, these, Jesus.
Wrecked him from the shadows, and when it was over, another $1,200 in cash. Hayes had no idea at the time.
Structure work by helping Diddy get dirt on people so he'd be able to black them out, in my opinion. No, that's just facts. Like, that's something that already came out. Like, again, like, especially right here with Cassie. She literally said herself, she didn't want these tapes or whatever to get out because obviously these are very terrible things going on here. You know what I mean? And very embarrassing and not so safe for work, I guess we'll say, things. So obviously if she did something out of line in the terms of Diddy, which was basically anything, because controlling Joker, yeah, he would spread these videos around and all that. So that's clear blackmail. Like, and then he was doing this for not just her, like many other people, you know, with this too.
Who Diddy even was, until he saw a hotel welcome message flash on the TV. From there, he said the sessions happened about 8 to 12 times total, all with Cassie leading the interaction and Diddy watching silently in the background. Now moving on to day number 8 in this trial, and this is where things get really interesting, and you know, this is when things start heating up because Kid Cudi entered the chat. So some of y'all might remember that wild rumor.
Yep.
The one where Diddy allegedly blew up Cudi's car. Well, it turns out that it wasn't just some internet myth. According to Cassie's own testimony, Diddy lost his mind when he found out that she had a brief period where she was dating Kid Cudi. And now in this trial, Kid Cudi finally confirmed the whole thing on a stand. It's official. But before Kid Cudi stepped up,
that's
the jury...
what I'm saying. I don't know how we're not confirming that Diddy's a supervillain. Brother, yo, you mad that your wife, your girlfriend, being cast in that case, that you are quite literally abusing, manipulating, do all this. She had one interaction with Kid Cudi. Your response, okay, we're blowing his car up. What? Like, bro, this guy's a Joker. I'm dead serious. Like, that's actually insane.
The jury had two more crucial witnesses. The first one, Dawn Hughes, a clinical and forensic psychologist. And this is in her first high-profile trial. She previously testified in the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp case. Her role wasn't to speak on Cassie directly, but to help the jury understand patterns of abuse. And what she said painted a heavy picture. She explained how victims often stay in abusive relationships, not because they're weak, but because the abuser controls everything, from their money to their safety to their sense of self. She talked about trauma bonds, the toxic mix of love and fear that make people return over and over again.
Did not mean to press that.
Over again.
Okay.
Messed it up.
Sorry, guys, he's messing up.
My bad. I was trying to pause because
I saw the battery's next.
I saw it probably is next. I give it like how long?
2 more minutes. We got battery. Let's go.
Oh yeah, we got. It usually go to like 1:30.
Okay, it was already
going.
Okay, talking too much. Let's go.
We had it going before, but I saw Yuri was saying a comment and I tried to click. Control freak much? Yeah, no, this is exactly what it is. And that's what I was saying earlier, like that type of scenario scare me. Like I obviously understand, like when you get like married and stuff like that and Jones, like maybe like one partner may have like their name on some other John. So like that's different type of scenarios. When everything is owned by the other person, everything that is yours, quote unquote, but like in legal terms and document terms, it's theirs.
Yeah, nah.
That is that would make my blood freeze instant, bro. Like no.
Even when they know it's destroying them. And she broke down how shame and humiliation from sexual abuse can make victims hide everything, even from themselves. Bottom line, her testimony helped set the stage for the jury to understand the psychological trap Cassie may have been stuck in. Then came the other witness before Kid Cudi, George Kaplan, Diddy's former executive assistant, a man who spent years by his side, working 80 to 100 hours a week, handling everything from hotel setups to drug pickups. He said,
imagine 80 to 100 hours a week working for Diddy.
His room was the next door room.
Yo, dog.
If it wasn't sitting in the bathroom in the closet.
You 100% know something. There is
no... He know a lot.
You need to absolutely be subpoenaed. Like, there is no way.
I hope he got protection or something.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you get like witness protection? Because I'm sorry, you have to leak everything. Like, you have to leak everything. Choice. Like, bruh, this guy was with 80 to 100 hours a week is insane with Diddy, and he like his people say, he's setting up the hotel. He's setting up the pre for the freak offs. He going out to go get the drugs, bro. What, bro? Oh, never, bro. The fact that he did it for so long, got away with it, made him think he was a god. That's what I'm saying. The same exact thing is happening with Kanye. Now, obviously, not all these different like crimes and stuff like that, but I'm talking about where like the money and power is corrupting your mind. The same thing is happening with Kanye. It is progressively getting worse. I need y'all to see this. I'm telling y'all. I don't know what's gonna happen, but in like the next like 2-3 years, it might get crazy for Kanye. Not saying he's gonna become Diddy or whatever, but he wanted to free Diddy, so.
They all want to free Diddy.
But I hope this trial goes well and Diddy's sent down. Oh yeah, Diddy's at the core of the earth. I promise. There is no getting away with this for Diddy. Like,
that Diddy would text or call him constantly, asking for food, clothes, liquor, and even drugs. Sometimes it was baby oil and lube. Other times it was straight up drugs and a burner number to call. Kaplan told the court he was there to protect Diddy's image. That meant flying out early to set up hotel rooms under fake names, laying out liquor, candles, and condoms, and cleaning up the scene after. One time he said he wiped a mysterious brown powder off a counter.
Brown crystallized powder? What?
Man, he had to clean it up too. Set it up and clean it up. Wow.
He didn't ask any questions, just cleaned. He also described the pressure. Diddy would threaten to fire him monthly, and the vibe was always tense, always like Diddy was in control. But the biggest takeaway
is Diddy a moron? Okay, please. You know what, boss? The money was cooking him. He got cooked by the money. But in that case, though, even in hindsight, I'm not even gonna lie. You fired me. All right, bro. I got no connection to you no more. Your secret's getting leaked. Now what? Like, what you gonna be like? You gonna sue me for defamation? Okay, now we gotta look into you to prove that you're being defamed. You getting cooked? Like, bro, what? I think that brown powder is another drug. No, it 100% is, but I will not be able to tell you which one.
It was clear. Kaplan's job wasn't just assistance, it was damage control. And now to one of the most dramatic moments of the trial. Kid Cudi finally took the stand. For years, there were rumors that Diddy blew up Cudi's car. It sounded wild at the time, like some sort of fiction. But on day 8 in this trial...
Let's read that caption. In one incident described in the court papers, Ms. Ventura says that in early 2012, Mr. Combs grew so angry about her dating the rapper Kid Cudi that he would blow up the rapper's car. Around that time, the suit says Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Their spokeswoman, Kid Cudi, confirmed Ms. Ventura's account. This is all true, he said.
So did that guy James go do it?
But my question is, wait, because I was saying earlier or whatever that it was like a one-time John. So apparently it wasn't a one-time John. So Cassie dated Kid Cudi, but when? Was this before or after? Like, why would it matter to Diddy? Like, why would you go blow up his car? Like, either way for this, like, blowing up his car, he's still clearly Joker.
Control, and all that other stuff.
If Cassie's with you and she doesn't want to be with you, she's forced to be with you. And what's the name? She's not with Kid Cudi. Why are you trying to kill him or blow up his car? This guy Diddy, I'm trying to tell you, is actually insane.
Diddy blew up Cudi's car. It sounded wild at the time, like some sort of fiction. But on day 8 in this trial, that story was confirmed. Let me give you the backstory. Kid Cudi testified that he met Cassie around 2008, and in 2011, the two began dating. At the time, he believed she was no longer with Diddy, but Cassie later told him Diddy had physically assaulted her, and things escalated from there. One morning in December 2011, Cassie called Cudi around 6 a.m., scared. Diddy had found out about their relationship, and she was terrified. She told him to meet her at a hotel, fearing Diddy might come to his house. That fear was not paranoia, because when they got to the hotel, they learned that Diddy had already broken into Cudi's home. Inside, gifts had been opened, his dog was locked in the bathroom, and security cameras were moved. Cudi...
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
bro,
this stuff.
Yo, Diddy is gone, bro. Like, why are we even still... Bro, he personally went to he personally went to Kid Cudi's house, broke in the junk, locked it. He locked the pup in the bathroom, bro.
Yeah.
But like, no, my main point to this is like, we have it like stamped that he's done multiple things, like, and it's him directly. I don't even see like, Mark, I don't even know what you're fighting for. How do you fight against this? Like, what do you even say?
Fighting against not guilty against the trafficking. So.
He called the police and filed a report. A few weeks later, in January 2012, his dog sitter called Cudi with more bad news. His porch was on fire. And these photos right here on the screen that were shown to the jury revealed the damage. Cudi said it looked like someone cut open the top of his car and dropped a Molotov cocktail inside, and he had one name in mind that could have possibly done this. Cudi said he reached out and scheduled a meeting with Diddy at Soho House in LA. When he walked in, Diddy was standing by a window with his hands behind his back, almost like a Marvel supervillain.
See?
He has Diddy dressed.
See? Okay. All right.
I'm trying to tell you, bro, he's a villain. Like, this guy, like, he truly actually got corrupted by the dark side. I don't know how this is possible, but he actually did in real life.
By a window with his hands behind his back, almost like a Marvel supervillain. He asked Diddy directly about the Porsche. Diddy's response, I don't know what you're talking about. They ended up shaking hands, but Cudi said that he didn't buy Diddy's denial. He knew that he was lying. Fast forward to 2015, the two crossed paths again. This time, Diddy apologized. Man, I just want to apologize for everything and all that BS Diddy allegedly.
What you apologizing for? Nothing happened, remember? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Dizzler.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What BS? What you mean? No,
Yeah, I
all
don't know
that
what you're
BS.
talking about.
Nah, man, all that BS, man. All that Joe in the past. But what
I don't know what
past?
you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
What passed? But I do remember my car being on fire. You talking about that past?
Uh,
Oh no, not that, man. Like, yo, we were just this fool Diddy's a moron. It's like this is what I'm saying. This is how these like ego bulls that get all this power and like start doing all this John and think like they're the main character and all that be tripping themselves up. They get too caught up in their power trip, and this is right here like basically admitting to what you did, bruh. Because you want people to know, oh man, you're that guy, you're so powerful, to where you're admitting to doing crimes, you moron. Like what? Yo, oh
people
my
are not smart
god.
these days, but whatever.
Oh my god, bro. It's so tough. Yo, XB, what's good?
Really told Cudi. Cudi told the court he found some peace after that, but when asked why he wanted that original meeting in 2012, he made it clear. I knew Sean Combs was violent, and that wasn't all. On cross-examination, the defense tried to flip the script on Cudi, asking if Cassie played him, and Cudi admitted yes. And in this trial, Cudi explained why his relationship with Cassie ended. He said the relationship fell apart because the drama got too real, and he feared for both their safety. And Cudi's testimony in court was easily the most powerful one we've heard so far, aside from, Cassie herself, of course. I mean, we're talking about Kid Cudi, right? Like a major name. When someone like Kid Cudi steps into the courtroom and says, I knew Sean Combs was violent since day one, it's not just a moment, it's a message. And this isn't just about Cassie. It's about how far the damage actually extended itself. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out. The trial could last up to 8 weeks, which means there's still a lot more to come. More witnesses, more evidence, and possibly even more twists. And obviously, I'll be keeping an eye on it if anything major happens. I'll, of course, be, right here to break it down all for you. Anyway, if you made it this far, drop a little like on this video, okay? If you enjoyed it, thank you guys so much. If you're new here, my name is Blackie Speaks. Nice to meet you, okay? Digital handshake. Thank you for subscribing. What do you guys think about what's happened in this Diddy trial so far? Still got some, way to go, but things are looking pretty interesting so far. So y'all let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. I'm out. Peace.
You feel? Y'all already should know. Shout out Blackie Speaks, gang. That was Diddy trial explain everything that's happened so far. Of course, for you guys on the live and on the tube, if you guys want to watch the original video, down the description, first link. Of course, to the level Blackie Speaks, like we said. And boss, go ahead and slide a little bit of an opinion and conjecture for him. How about P. Diddy Dizzler? So
sure, I'm waiting.
He said, wait. Yo, for y'all that watch Chill Talks Everything, I'm telling y'all, bro. Shout out Ethan, y'all already know, from the HC Podcast. Usher, I see you.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top. Oh, okay.
Like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, nah, I feel that. I really feel where the buzz come from now. The main thing, obviously, we're going to come off from here, obviously seeing that Cassie, a lot of things going on with her was covered, and you know what I'm saying, it's been exposed that, it's pretty much cooked on that effort, at least for Diddy, with the whole...
And there it go. I tried to tell him the battery's going to go. He don't want to listen to me.
I already called it.
He don't want to listen to me. Oh, I forgot.
It's always an hour 30.
No, you know what it is? We had the battery going while we was adjusting the setup.
That's what I said. That's what I said. It was 5 minutes.
I knew it, but we had the battery going. We was adjusting the setup.
I'm telling y'all, I stamped. I know each battery lasts for an hour 30. I pretty much have this stamped out. Because funny enough, mentioning Ethan on the John or whatever, whenever I will be recording long vids of the pod over, it's always an hour 30 chunks the battery.
Okay, this one goes in the other one.
But anyway, getting back more to this, which I basically lost my thought. I blame the boss.
Okay, it's all right. We ended it out anyway. Ending out the video. Maddie, I made him touch grass and water.
Why can I not vent?
Okay, we ended the video.
My thing was cut. No, my bad. Just no. I'm gonna end it out. My thing was the subpoenas. More or less coming off of everything that's coming out with Cassie and get into the trial. We just want to get to the subpoena list. More and more people that obviously have been associated with Diddy and people that were just personally on his team and stuff like that. More things will come out, and when that does, me and the boss will be here. But go ahead, boss. You're about to. What's the name?
No.
Fishing out. Oh, that's it?
That's it. I said we're fishing this.
So then other than that...
we're going to ring the bell.
I ain't gonna lie. We on the live. Man, I ain't ringing no bell.
We're on the live. But we're going to ring the bell. But anyway.
But for the heads on the tube watching the vid, we finna catch y'all on the flip, baby.
Peace.